Are you in there? I know you want to know how to make some money. So let's get to the video. What's up, Divas and Divos? It's your girl, Nikki, the Deal Finding Diva. And welcome back to my channel where I show you how to either make money or save money. And today I'm going to do a Q&A and let you know some more tips to help you make some money with ACX, the voice narration. So in case you're not familiar with ACX, ACX is the voice narration company that I jumped into and got a couple voice narration contracts. And a lot of people have had questions, and I've done a video or two on it before, and some people still had questions, and I promised you a Q&A. So if you're interested in how to make some money with ACX and get a couple more of these questions answered, you know what you gotta do before we get into the video. You gotta like and share this video, and you got to subscribe to Deal Finding Diva. And before I forget, I gotta show some love. Before we continue with this awesome video, I want to take some time and shout out the comment of the week. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. And I know some of you are wondering, how can I be featured? If you want to be featured, it's so easy. All you have to do is either comment below or on another video that I post this week. Or you can head on over to Instagram, don't forget to follow me, and comment on a video or share me on your IG story. Don't forget to tag @DealFindingDiva. So we're gonna get into the video, and I'm gonna answer some more of your questions on how to make the most money with ACX right after this. All right, Divas and Divos, like I promised, I'm doing a follow-up on ACX, and a lot of you are actually here on my channel because you've seen comments that I've put on either Kat Theo or Marissa Romero's videos regarding my experience with ACX. So if you're not familiar, yes, I tried ACX. It's a voice narration company. So whether you're an author and you need somebody to do voice narration for your books, you can go there. Or if you're looking for ways to make money and do voice narration, so basically voiceovers for audiobooks, just bringing them to life, then you can head over to ACX as well and actually get some money. So I wanted to do a quick video and answer some more of the questions that you all have had regarding ACX and my experience with ACX. So the very first question that I'm going to answer is from Erica, and she wanted to know, one, have I been paid by ACX, and also how much time I've put into doing the voice narration for the audiobook that I have completed. So let me remind you all, I am actually on my second contract. I'm currently doing the second audiobook. The very first audiobook is still not released. So yes, I have not been paid because I chose royalty. Okay, so with royalty, you get paid a percentage of what the sales are. I have not been paid with ACX yet, but let me let you all know. I chose royalty share, but there are other options as well. As a matter of fact, I actually had a diva reach out to me, and she commented, and she was so awesome. She went into detail and said that she actually got a contract, and she didn't just get royalty, but she got royalty plus. So what royalty plus is a flat rate in addition to royalty. So the ways that you can get paid are either by royalty or flat rate, or both, which is considered royalty plus. So that's what this young lady got. And it was awesome that she let me know what ended up happening, because ironically, she brought up another good point, which I'll get to in a moment. But yes, Erica, to answer your question, no, I have not been paid yet. And what you all need to know as well is, once you submit your audiobook for completion, and if you haven't checked out my previous video on submitting the audiobooks and more information on that, then make sure you check it out. But once you do submit the audiobook, your audiobook is not just going to go up and start making sales. It doesn't work that way. So the way that it works is ACX actually has to do another look over, basically, of your audiobook. So they want to make sure that it's meeting all the criteria. So I've actually read that there were people that had an issue where, although it met like the sound level requirements and things like that, ACX still kicked their audiobook back to them to fix. So that's where mine is. Mine is still in the process, and the time expectancy for that to be completed is several weeks. So I'm not even looking for a check from ACX like anytime soon. So yes, that answers that part of your question, Erica, as well as the amount of time that I put into creating the audiobook. I have to say it was well over 60 hours. If I had to guess, like I wasn't timing it, so I can't give a definitive answer, but I'm pretty sure I put at least 80 hours into it. And that's where the term per finished hour comes in. Because if you've ever been on the ACX website, you might have noticed that, especially if you're being offered a flat rate of pay, if they're saying we're going to pay $50 per finished hour, that PFH, that's per finished hour. That means per hour that is finished, not the actual amount of time that you put into it. You have to consider the fact that you will make mistakes. You're going to have to edit stuff out. You're going to do stuff over. There were times where I would listen to it again and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that sounded. So let me do that whole section over. So yes, there's going to be a lot of error that goes into it. And yeah, you can expect to put in a lot of hours. So again, I would say I'm closer to the 80 plus hour mark. So yes, I put in a lot of time, and you can expect to put in a lot of time if you're going to do an audiobook. So I hope that answers your question, Erica. So before I get into the next question, I want to swing back around to a point that I was going to make a few moments ago. So when you go to do an audition, you can expect to audition more than once. Like I got lucky. That's not a typical experience to land an audition the first time around. So don't get discouraged. And the young lady that actually reached out, when she reached out to me, she made a very good point. She had done several auditions and she was starting to get a little discouraged, but she kept at it and eventually it clicked. And then she got a great contract. So I say all that to say, don't give up. Practice makes perfect, and you will do better the more you do it. So don't be so pressed on landing something right away. You want to perfect your craft, and then whatever is meant to be is gonna be. So just be patient with the process and enjoy the process and try to learn from it and improve. Make sure you listen back on what you recorded, and something will happen if it's meant to happen, okay? So remember that. Okay, so another question that I had, and it was from Belva, and somebody else actually brought this up, and it was about making your profile with ACX and whether or not you should put a profile picture or specify certain information in your profile. I did none of that. I didn't do a profile picture. I didn't put information in my profile. Like I really did nothing. I really went into ACX not being pressured. That's probably, if I have to look back on it and take a guess as to like why I got so lucky in doing it, one of the reasons is I wasn't too pressed on it. I just really wanted to experience the process and see what would happen. Like, oh, okay, like do they send you an email and let you know that you've been rejected or whatever? So, and just so you know, that's what will happen if they do decide to reject you. A lot of times they'll send you like a message, and it might come to your email as well. But yeah, I just tried to enjoy the process. I just wanted to understand it and just try it out. You know, it was a nice way of possibly making royalty money. And one of the most important things to me lately has been making a passive income. And I figured ACX was a good way to try to go about that. So yeah, that's when I decided to try it. And yeah, I landed the first contract, and then the author liked me so much that she offered me the second contract. So no, I didn't do a profile picture or fill out my profile information, any of that. And the author that I chose, she actually had experience with voice narrators in the past. It wasn't her first go round with ACX. So yeah, that, I mean, it depends on the author, whether or not they want you to have certain profile information, but my particular author, she didn't care. So hopefully that answers your question. There was a question submitted by someone by the name of Mulazim, and they wanted to know how much to expect to get paid monthly with ACX. And that depends on the sales if you have a royalty contract like I do. So if my book doesn't sell anything, I expect to make $0. And if you get one of those contracts where you get paid a flat rate in addition to royalties or by itself, that's how much you can expect to get paid. So yeah, it depends on your particular contract. So I can't answer that directly. You have to read your contract and only agree to contracts that you are okay with. Now, there was another question by Sincerely Athena, and she wanted to know if you decide to practice at home for an ACX audition, like what kind of books should you expect to read? So that would depend on the kinds of books that you want to audition for. So if you plan on auditioning for children's books, then use children's books. If you plan on auditioning for novels, or like romance or whatever, read those types of books. So just read the types of books that you plan on auditioning for. For me, like I said in my previous video, I only wanted to audition for books that I was personally interested in. You know, when you go to audition, they will let you see the script. You're going to be reading some of that book. And yes, you do have to change your voice or whatever you need to do if there's more than one character. But the thing is, when I read some scripts, I was not interested in some of those books. And so I just tossed them aside. I mean, I wasn't interested, so it's going to be boring to me and it's going to make the process longer and harder. So no, I only want books that I'm interested in. So yes, read those kinds of books to practice with and record yourself, listen back to it, see what you need to do, figure out, is this something that somebody would want to listen to, and go from there. And another good idea would be to have friends or family listen back and give you critiques as well. So yeah, hopefully that helped, Athena. So another question that I had from several people was asking if you have to have experience to do voice narration. No, you don't. I had never done it before and I landed my first contract. So that's the answer to that. So the next question from Brown Skin Goodness, she was asking, do you have to put an audio sample on your profile? With that, I would say no, because I didn't do it and I still landed my contract. So that's the answer to that one. And there was another question that somebody asked me about using a lapel microphone. And I understand that people don't want to go splurging on equipment, especially if you don't even know if you're going to stick with doing voice narration. Like I said, I use a Shure microphone and it was gifted to me. So it's a pretty expensive microphone, but there are others. What I do suggest is either you can use my link below. I'm going to link the Shure microphone below, and what Amazon would do, because that's where you can get them from. But what Amazon will do is they will also suggest other microphones to you when you go over to that page. So if that one is not within your price point, then you can look at other suggested microphones and just make sure you look at the reviews and see which microphone is good for you, which one is within your price range, or which one seems to have the features that you want or whatever. So yeah, I highly suggest that you head on over and check out the various microphones. And while we're at it, make sure you head on over to my website, dealfindingdiva.com. I'm going to link the post below. I actually did a post which goes more in depth on ACX voice narration and some tips that you might want to know. So hopefully this video was helpful for you all. And if you have any more ACX questions, please just drop them down below. I'm probably not going to do another Q&A on this. I actually am like done with ACX, but so if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'll try to get back to your questions. And also, if there's any videos that you want me to do, I am open to it. So make sure you also hit me up down below to let me know what you might be interested in. And before we head out of here, you know what you got to do. You got to hit that like and share button. And also don't forget to subscribe to Deal Finding Diva. And I'm going to peace out on this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
come with me.